Hello and welcome to the show. This is episode 4 of the Life of Gaming podcast. My name is Jamie and I will be your captain as we sail into video game wonderfulness. And you all know my, what is a second in command, I guess? My second in command, the man with the beard, Mr. Josh Brand. How you doing today, sir?
James, in less than a week, the day of reckoning, March 24th.
And you might
Bloodborne.
I'm glad you're
Dude,
so
I'm
excited
pumped.
for that one.
I love
man.
not having a bias to anything. We
Right.
can just talk about the games we love. And
Absolutely. That's
Yep,
the
awesome.
fun thing about the show. So, I mean,
Yes.
is there anything new going on? I mean, besides your very large anticipation for Bloodborne, is there anything else exciting going on? I mean, since our last podcast.
No, I think I'm gonna make up that I'm in jury duty or something, so I can just take that day off and
Just play Bloodborne all day
yes, yes, hide away from my wife.
long. She'll find you in the closet with like a little TV hooked up. And your headphones on, you'll be good to go.
Hey, whatever it takes.
But yeah, man, I mean, since our last show, I haven't been doing too well because I had a bad fall and, messed up my wrist. So I had to have it in one of those things and couldn't move it for a while. I finally
Oh, no.
got it off so I can, move my hand again. So that's nice. So hopefully I can get back into some gaming.
Yeah, all you
And
can
then-
do is these touchscreen games with
Yeah.
one finger problem.
Right. But, and then also today, I don't know if I told you about this. Today I was messing with my TV and the input button on my TV broke off. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Of all
So I
the
mean,
things.
I can still use the remote, obviously, but if the batteries are dead, I have no way to change the input on my television.
Keep those batteries fresh.
Right. But, well, thanks for coming in to listen to this show. I know we're a couple of strange guys. But, the reason we made this show, we're just a couple of guys. We've been great friends for a very long time, and we just love video games. And, with busy schedules, married life, and, Brant with his kids, just trying to find time to squeeze that gaming time in. So we made this night on Friday just to come together and talk about what's going on in the industry. And part of the Life of Gaming podcast, we know there's people making a lot of great content out there. And we really like to bring those people on the show to talk about what they're doing, whether it's, making videos or, writing reviews or, unboxing videos, whatever it is. We know that people are making some great content out there. So this week, our guest we're bringing on is Josh, and he runs his channel JSkeleton92. Josh, how you doing today?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So you're doing pretty good tonight, right?
Pretty good, yeah. Found a couple totem amiibos earlier, so I'm pretty good.
Awesome.
Yes.
Got to keep the hunt alive.
Yeah, man.
Man, I was looking for that gold amiibo earlier, before work. I made sure to
Yeah.
stop into Walmart, and they didn't have any. I had my wife stop into Walmart by her, and they didn't have any. They're impossible to find, man.
I'm telling you, man, the employees probably stashed them behind somewhere, probably in another department or something, or I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. My fiance checked one Walmart for me, then we went to another Walmart later when I went to get the toads, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, man.
You guys and
Oh,
your amiibos.
That's right. The hunt lives on. Well, also, just to make things a little easier, if I can remember, since you're both named Josh,
Best name ever. No.
I'll call our guest by his first name, Josh, and the bearded man I will call Brant. So that way, hopefully,
Well, we
as long
both
as I-
have beards.
Well, that
so
is
you're
actually
out of luck
true.
There.
Okay,
His is
No one-
more
no one can see
epic
it,
than
though.
mine.
That's right. But okay, just my co-host we'll call Brant. Does that sound good then, sir?
I'll go. Hey, the Brant works.
That works. Okay, Josh. Just to have our listeners get to know you a little bit better, tell us a little bit about yourself. Your job, your family, hobbies, anything like that. Before we get into the gaming stuff, just let us know a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, outside of gaming, I play a lot of music and stuff. Getting married in 2 weeks, which is
Oh, wow.
it's crazy. Yeah, April 4th.
Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Thank you,
man.
thank you very
That's
much. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. So I'm getting married in 2 weeks. Play a lot of music and stuff, but I guess my hobbies and stuff kind of tie into the whole gaming thing. Cause
Sure.
I was telling you off air on Facebook before. The way it kind of started is I got sick two years ago with just a lot of weird symptoms, and finally the doctor said it was lupus or something. I don't know. They think I got a couple different things, but
sure.
it's just stuff that like prevents me from being able to like actually work right now. Hopefully, eventually, you know, maybe I'll get better or something, and I'll be able to do stuff more. But health wise, physically and stuff, you know, it's not a lot I can do. So that's why I kind of got into doing, you know, I love gaming, so I kind of got into doing the whole like video stuff.
Sure.
Especially like Xbox One and PS4 launched, I think like the year I got sick. I think I got like sick in the April, and then I think it was like the November of or something, or yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it went. Or no, I don't know. Maybe it was the following year or something. I don't know. Either way, so they had like the built-in game DVR and stuff, right? So
okay.
I started doing it like that. I'm like, oh, you know, I'll just use this built-in stuff, and you know, because I can't really afford much else, and I got really like hooked on it. You know, it felt like something productive to do. So I started, you know, getting piece by piece of my equipment. You know, like the webcam, you know,
Sure.
dual monitors. My parents got me, you know, Elgato HD 60 for Christmas, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
My fiance got me these Astro A40 headsets I'm wearing
Nice.
right now. Yeah, but like my condenser mic I already had because, again, being a musician, I bought that a long time ago. My parents bought me like an interface like years ago to record and stuff. So I had all that to record music and stuff. So I use that for, you know, my Let's Plays, stuff like that. So my hobbies and stuff, my, you know, my personal life and my gaming life, they kind of tie in that kind of way. So,
Sure.
I mean, outside of that, you know, I love sports and stuff. I'm Canadian, so I love hockey.
There you go.
I'm a huge hockey fan.
I actually grew up. I mean, I played hockey till, man, maybe
you were good.
just about junior high. Like I played
You'd
for a
run me
while.
over
My,
the
my
court.
brother, my court.
Oh yeah, I don't even know.
Right.
Ice rink, whatever.
Right. But I mean, my brother actually played hockey for a lot longer. But yeah, I used to be, used to play hockey. I'm a pretty big fan of hockey. It's a good time.
Oh man, it's a great time, especially when you live in Canada and you got the cold winters, right?
Yeah.
You got your ODR, you know, you bring your skates to the, you know, local rink outside, and you got your locals just playing hockey outside, you know.
Get a trash can and hit it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, thankfully the city actually hooks up all the rinks with pretty nice nets.
oh
So.
wow, that's awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so-
It's not like
See,
Mighty Ducks here and stuff.
No, thankfully not, man.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, the close thing for us in Ohio, I mean, because our weather's crazy. Every once in a while, we lived out in the country, and every once in a while, the field across the street, it would rain really bad and it would flood, and then the whole field would freeze over. And so it would be thick enough we could go out and actually skate on it and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we had
like our
a rink we went
cornfields.
to. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, we had a rink, but it was a good 20 minutes away. So I mean, if you can just walk across the street with your skates,
Yeah.
that's pretty nice. But and Josh, we've been actually watching a lot of your content. You've been putting out a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
And recently, I know you showed us your Call of Duty video you had, which was very impressive. It was what 45-17, I think was your
Wow.
kill to death ratio in that.
45-15.
Oh wow, it's even better.
Yeah.
What's
See,
actually
I underestimated you.
Yes.
What's actually funny about that is Sledgehammer Games, which for those who may not know, they make Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
They posted a video, and obviously they tend to only post videos from famous YouTubers, people with a huge following, right?
Sure.
So they posted a video from this one YouTuber, I can't remember his name. He went 40 and I think it was like 40 and 12 or something. No, sorry, I think him was 40 and 17. And they were, Sledgehammer's like tripping out about it, like, oh, this guy got 40 kills out of 75 of his team's, kills in team deathmatch, right? That's over half. And I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if I could top him by like 5. And I wasn't even trying. One day I was just playing for fun. I think I was playing with my dad or something. I mentioned in the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the scoreboard and I had like 40 kills. I'm like, no way. So I just kept going at it, and by the end of the game, I looked at it. It was like 45 kills. I didn't even try. It was exactly what I had hoped for.
Yeah.
But I just so happened to not be trying at all, and so I tried to send it to them in hopes that maybe they'd be like, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
He got 45.
Yeah.
The last guy got 40. Well, this guy got 45. But no, they didn't.
Oh man, that's
At least you recorded it.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
have the proof. That's what matters.
Yeah. Well, I was actually streaming it on Twitch, so I had to go export that video.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it was just a pain, man. I didn't have my Elgato software up at the time, so I
Okay.
couldn't do flashback recording.
Gotcha.
So,
Man,
yeah.
but man,
I got it.
I enjoy first-person shooters. I mean, the last one I really got into was Titanfall. But even
Yeah, that
then,
was
I mean,
great.
I enjoy it. And normally, I'm, middle of the road, but my kill count, I'm lucky if I'm like 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
even on
what
a
you mean.
good day, you know?
Yeah, Plants
Yeah.
vs Zombies Garden Warfare is about the only one I do well at.
That's
Oh,
third
that's a great
person
game,
shooter,
man.
man.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah,
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
that's a fun game.
Is there anything you're putting out now that, I mean, you like to, just talk about? Anything more recent?
Well, I mean, I've been doing a lot of like Let's Plays too. I got like, I think it's like when the new 3DS got announced. I don't know why, but I got hit with this huge like Nintendo craze. Actually, it started just before that with the amiibos, right? I was like,
Sure.
I'm not gonna get amiibos, screw it. Now
That's
I got
what
like
we all
six.
say.
I got like 6 of them sitting up here.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
as bad as some people, but still.
I've got 11, man. I don't know how that happened.
Man, my wallet can't afford it, man.
Yeah.
Especially getting married, right? But
Right.
so I got into like the Nintendo craze, and I just kind of, especially because like at first, when I first got the Elgato, I was like, I'm gonna get like heavy into Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, as much as I like to play Call of Duty, I don't know if I can really focus on that.
Sure.
So I started playing like more Nintendo stuff again, and I just kind of had like more fun with it, and I'm like,
Nintendo
I do like
is
exactly,
always
man.
fun.
Exactly. So I'm like, I should do some Let's Plays and stuff of some games that I've already beat. They might be old, but some people who are I already have like a fan base of, like subscribers, they
Sure.
might enjoy the games, watching me play the games,
Yeah.
especially when I die a lot.
That's always more entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. So I started off with I think it was like Super Mario World from the Super NES, but I
Okay.
have it on the Wii U, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so I started with that one, then I moved on to like New Super Mario Bros. U, I think it was. Then they dropped Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3
Oh, yeah.
on the eShop, and I have that on Super NES, but I don't have like a retro connection on my Elgato.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So I bought all 3 of those to have them digital too, and I figured I'll do a Let's Play of all those. So I just wrapped up the first Donkey Kong Country Let's Play yesterday, I think it was. So I'm gonna start recording the second one. I also got Tropical Freeze because it was on sale.
Tropical Freeze is so good.
I got the discount, right? Because
Yeah.
there was the eShop promotion. So I'm gonna try to do Let's Play that. So there's a lot of Donkey Kong right
That's
now,
cool.
but
So I guess I have a question for you then.
yeah.
Which is your favorite Donkey Kong Country? Because when I go back and play them, I love the first one, but I think
Yeah.
my favorite gameplay-wise would probably be Donkey Kong Country 3. Because in that one, you got to explore the overworld outside of
Yeah.
the main levels, and there were a
Yeah.
lot more collectibles. And I actually liked 3 the best. Which one do you like?
Like as far as like say nostalgia goes, all 3
Yeah.
are like amazing. I get torn usually between 2 and 3. I would say 2 would probably have an edge for me.
Sure.
There's something about 2, man. I don't know, like there's just like this
The level
vibe,
design.
this
Yeah.
this feeling I get replaying those games. These memories. I don't know why, but the level design, like you said, man, like the first world on the pirate ship, and
Yeah.
you move on
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
volcano, and then you get to the part where there's like the beehive and the roller coasters and all
Yeah.
that.
Do that.
And Brant, what about you? I mean,
Josh,
I guess,
yeah, I was just gonna say Donkey Kong Country 2. I remember when you're in the theme park place. You remember that?
Yeah.
The music in that is some of the best.
amazing.
It would stick with me like weeks after, and I just want to say,
love
I got to go to James' house and play this game. some more.
I just remember Donkey Kong Country 2 was one of the first video games where I remember it having you could buy the soundtrack like separate. You could buy the video
yeah?
game soundtrack. Yeah, because I remember
I had no idea.
my neighbor had it, and he had it on CD actually. And being younger, the best way we had to copy it back then, put the CD in and then hit record on the tape deck, right? So I'd have a tape of it,
Yeah.
and the quality was terrible. But I
man.
remember having the Donkey Kong Country 2 soundtrack. They had really good music in that game.
Oh yeah, man, it was great, man. Like like you said with 3, there's the whole like overworld stuff. There was that secret. I don't know if you remember. There was like the circle of stones where you went around it so many times, honking your horn, and then like this cave came up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I love that stuff.
I remember with Donkey Kong Country 3, it came out very, very late in the Super Nintendo life cycle because I remember that Christmas I got Donkey Kong 64 and Donkey Kong Country 3 same Christmas.
Oh yeah, wow.
And and the funny thing was with Donkey Kong Country 3, it had to come with that expansion pack, or 64. I mean, Donkey Kong 64. It had to come with that special RAM expansion because otherwise your system couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man, good times. Well, I
And
guess
64 is the only thing I haven't owned. The only like home
wow.
console from Nintendo I haven't owned.
You missed out, man. There was some good stuff on there. I mean,
I'm trying to get my hand on
going
ones, man.
back to it though, it's probably not gonna be the same.
rough.
I mean, one of my favorite games on there was Jet Force Gemini. I don't know if you ever played that.
Dude,
That
that's
was
so
like-
underrated.
Sounds familiar.
It was. That was a really good. That was by Rare, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That was a good game. If you're out there listening and you haven't played Jet Force Gemini, you can get your hands on a copy legally.
They just do that.
I would say definitely play it.
Up-res the textures and just put it out something.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey guys, with that, I guess just to sort of get to the introduction now, we are going to hop into our news section, and it's what we like to call Captain's Log. Okay, with that, I'm just going to start going through, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. We'll start with PlayStation today. With PlayStation, there were a couple of big news stories that came out. Actually, this should make Brant, it should make you pretty excited, sir. On PlayStation 4, they are getting limited edition Bloodborne faceplates that you can put on the system. They're $25 a piece. They're gonna have other kinds as well. They have like a standard PlayStation one that has like the triangle, the X, circle, square, symbols all over it and things like that as well. And so I'm assuming that means they're not coming out with a Bloodborne PlayStation 4, like an actual system. But what do you think about changing faceplates, Brant? I mean, is that something? Because I remember when Xbox 360 first came out, that was a big thing they pushed was let's put faceplates on it, but they just didn't sell very well. Do you think faceplates on PlayStation 4, instead of getting special editions and buying a whole new system, what do you think about that?
It's good. I think the people that are really into this will buy them. I mean, the people on the edge like me probably won't, because I think the Bloodborne one's pretty cool itself, but for the price point, it just doesn't interest me enough for that. If it was something was all over the system or something, like a limited edition PS4, I'd have to find a way to get that.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it just depends on who it's trying to connect to, I guess.
Sure. And what about you, Josh? I mean, is that something do you have a PlayStation 4, right? You have all three systems for this gen?
I did, but ironically, I actually sold it to afford Christmas gifts.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you have what, a Wii U and Xbox One right now?
I got Wii U, Xbox One. I got my Majora's Mask 3DS, new 3DS
awesome.
XL. Yeah, I had a 360, but I sold it. I wish I had it, but
sure.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the whole faceplate thing? Because I know, like I said, they did it on the 360, and now they're PlayStation's bringing it back, trying to make it new again. Do you think that's going to sell?
I think there's a lot of people that they're gonna dig it and stuff. Personally, if it was me, I'm not huge on it. I didn't really buy into it on the 360. If it was on say the 3DS, right? I know they got the 3DS.
The faceplate, the covers.
But that's obviously not North America, unfortunately.
Sure, yeah.
For stuff like that, for Zelda fans and stuff, you know what I mean? That's huge. If they come out with I don't know how big the faceplates will sell for new IPs. If they had a nostalgia effect, if they came out with some Crash Bandicoot ones or something. Oh
yeah, sure.
I think people would lose their minds and those would sell like hotcakes, man. But yeah, I think there's a lot of. I think there's an interest out there for them for sure. Yeah.
Do you think? Because they just announced this. Do you think that PlayStation decided to do this because they heard all the kickback from the 3DS and everyone said, "Oh, I want faceplates. I want to change it." And then PlayStation said, "Hey, we have this plate that comes off here. Let's change it." I mean, Josh and Brant, both of you. I mean, do you think Nintendo's whole faceplate craze that they started in Japan and everywhere else, do you think that had any kind of influence on this, or is this something they've had planned for a while?
I think so.
Yeah, possibly a little bit, but I think it's more applicable to handhelds than actual home systems, because you're always handling that. You're always bringing around the handhelds.
Yeah.
Showing it off.
Right,
so
and the home console just
kind of
the home console just sort of sits under your TV inside your entertainment center. I mean, you can't move it.
You don't even see it most
you
of the
dust
time.
it? Yeah, you dust around it, every once in a while. But that's about it.
Yeah. In fact, I have to dust mine off right now. It's getting pretty dusty.
Yeah. I mean, come on, PlayStation Move, the Wii remotes.
Yeah.
PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, Super Smash Bros. 3DS faceplates, PS4 face. I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, I
I'm just saying, man.
It's too hard to ignore.
I'm just saying, you know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing with PlayStation, I guess I'll put both these in one news story because this is actually, we're going to talk about this more in depth later in the show, but I just wanted to bring it up now just because it's news that just happened. God of War 3, PlayStation, Sony announced they're going to remaster it and bring it to PlayStation 4. So God of War 3 is actually coming to PlayStation 4. Yes. It's also rumored, I can't remember if it was actually proven, but it's shown up, Gravity Rush, the Vita game. They're going to remaster that and bring that to the PS4 as well. So, like I said, we'll be bringing that up later in the show, but just quick on that, do you guys like God of War? Is God of War a series that you guys would like to play again? Or is it something that you're like, well, I played it on PS3, I'm done with it. Yeah, I want something new.
That's where I'm at. I enjoyed the games, but it's not something that... If it's a brand new game, then I would delve into that. But for something that's been around, it'll probably be $60, and I'm not going to spend $60 when it's down to $20. Then
that's right. Well, I mean, when you can get the whole God of War collection now for like $20 or whatever on PlayStation 3.
All right, on PS3.
But But what about you, Josh? I mean, were you ever a fan of the God of War series?
I never actually really got into it, man. Like I had a PS3 for a short time, so I didn't really have time to get into like every single PS3. I played a lot of them, like Ratchet and Clank, Last of Us, Infamous, whatever. I played God of War a little bit at my uncle's a few times. Not enough to really, like get a huge grasp on it. It felt fun, but like story wise, I'm kind of clueless, to be honest.
It's just about killing a bunch of everything.
Pretty much.
Killing everything.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Killing a bunch of everything. Yes, Brent. That is a very good way to put it.
So, I mean, especially people like me who haven't played it, I'm sure there are more like me, I hope, out there that haven't played it. So, but I mean, like, it was, they've remastered, like, The Last of Us 2, and a lot of people who had played it still bought the remastered version, so...
That's very true.
I see it. And I think I seen it on EB Games earlier for, like, $44 or something.
For Last of Us?
No, sorry, God of War remastered.
Oh, okay. Huh. I can see
$44.99 Canadian. So that might, that might be
$39.99.
Sure.
Yeah,
$39.
Sure.
Yep. $39.
Okay.
$39 American. Yeah.
So probably a budget title. Cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, I guess the next news story. I'm gonna move into Xbox now, but
before you move to Xbox,
sure, go for it.
Sony, they're releasing their cable system.
Well, that's what I was about to bring up right now. You hopped right into it, sir. I was going to say that this actually bridges the two systems.
Gotcha.
My news section, because what I was going to announce is that PlayStation just launched the PlayStation Vue, and Xbox just had the Sling TV app launch on the Xbox One. The PlayStation Vue is only available in certain states right now. Sling TV is available everywhere. The PlayStation Vue is $60 a month. And Sling TV is $20 a month. Now, there are some differences with this, though. PlayStation Vue, you get more channels. You also get a DVR function, so you can record your shows onto your system and things like that. And you also, like I said, you get more channels. With Sling TV, it's a little different. You just, you stream your shows through your TV like you would Netflix or anything else. And the starting price is $20 a month. And then for $5 more a month, you can add like certain packages, like, I want the sports package, or, I want the kids channel package, and you can keep adding on to that. But the Xbox One, at least as of right now, doesn't have any kind of DVR function. So I guess my first question, does this excite either of you to be able to watch cable television through your systems?
Hey, what if it was in Canada?
But
I
guess that's a good point.
When Sling got announced, I think I seen it. Someone posted online on a forum, and so I went to go check on my Xbox One. They're like, "Oh, Sling's on Xbox One today." I'm like, "Oh, cool! It sounds like a cool concept. You got a 30-day free trial. Mm-hmm. Why not? I'll try it out just for the sports. I'm not a huge TV watcher, but I love my sports. So I went to go check it out, and I couldn't find it. So I asked people in the forums. I'm like, why can't I find it? And they're like, "Oh, it's only the U.S." I'm like, "Well." So if it was in Canada, I definitely would have gave it a 30-day trial.
Sure.
See how I liked it. I think it would be cool if they had like you said, you could pay $5 for like a package extra.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if you could just pay $5 for like one package. Like if you just want sports, $5, right?
Yeah.
You know, instead of paying $20 and you get all these channels you really don't care for or something. As far as the PlayStation one goes, I wouldn't. What did you say it was, like $60?
It's $60. It's $60 a month. Yes.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. You might as well just get cable while you're at it. You know.
Sure. And that's what some people are saying. What about you, Brant? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I only own a PlayStation, so I can only say for that. But
sure,
I think the view's only for like New York City and
it's just a couple small. They're just testing
the
market. Yeah, just testing the market right now.
Yeah, and it'd almost be better just to get cable because at least you get ESPN. You know, and stuff like I wouldn't even. I don't think it comes with the Sony View, so I'm more interested in just having like ESPN and.
Sure. Well, I guess my next question for both of you, just a real quick answer: do you both have cable? Do either of you have cable?
No.
Nope. Not me.
Okay, that's funny because we're all the exact same way. That's right. We have Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, and we are set.
Yeah. I don't even have Netflix anymore, man. I used to, but I cut it because I was like, "There's no point."
Sure.
You know?
Now I know that the Canada Netflix is different than the American Netflix. Like what's available, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I actually there was a thing back on the 360 days that there's something to do with like a way to get the American one. I had it for a bit,
so you can cheat the system.
Yeah, I had it for a bit, but I didn't really keep it long because I was like, you know, it's no real point because. Like I said, I'm not huge on TV and stuff unless it's like sports. As far as movies go, I'm pretty limited on that too. Like I said, I usually keep it to games and music for the most part.
Gotcha. There's only so much you can keep track of.
Right.
Exactly, man. There's so much out there.
Exactly. Right? I mean, there's only so many shows my wife and I watch, but most of what we do, so we don't have DVR, don't have cable. We only have basic channels. We just use Hulu, kind of like our DVR. If we miss a show, the next day it's on Hulu anyway, so we can watch it. The only real, quote unquote, cable show we're watching, and that's with the Sci-Fi app on my Xbox. We're watching 12 Monkeys, which is actually a fantastic show. If you haven't watched it, I'm really enjoying that. But other than that, like we don't really TV. There's not much for us, so we cut cable a long time ago. I guess now we're in the Xbox news. Phantom Dust, if you guys remember that getting announced.
Yes.
Not that long ago, and then the company that was making it, they got closed. I mean, they got shut down.
Yeah.
But footage leaked of what they were working on, and so I don't know if have you guys seen the footage yet?
No.
It almost looked like a third-person action game almost. And from the quote that came out said that what they were doing, the game was going to be like 70% a remake of the original game and about 30% of like a reboot of new content. And as of right now, we know nothing about it. But just the fact that they closed the company, the game might be canceled. They claim they're still working on it, but they might, that might just be to keep the fans down until they say, exactly, and slowly, put it away.
Yeah, I think that game's
done.
Just in developmental hell.
Sure.
As far as things go.
Sure. The other thing for Xbox, having Rare, you got to use some of those Rare properties, right?
And don't use them right.
Right, well, exactly. Because, Conker's Bad Fur Day, that game was huge on N64, and they redid it on, was it Xbox One or Xbox 360 they remade it on? I can't remember.
Was it Xbox 360?
Okay.
Yeah.
And, because I bought some of the Banjo games on the 360 as well. But Conker, they're bringing him back. On April 23rd, they're adding a pack to Project Spark, that game where you can make your own games pretty much on the Xbox One. They're adding a DLC pack called Conker's Big Reunion, and it's going to be an episodic adventure, like a story you can play through. And it's also adding 300 new assets into your toolbox. So if you're building stuff, so all those assets from that Conker's Big Reunion will also be in the game. And when they asked them if they're making a new Conker game, like a full Conker game, not just this episodic stuff for Project Spark, they said no, there's no full game in development currently, but this is not out of the question. I mean, is it popular enough, I guess I should say now, because it's been so long since it came out. Is it popular enough for them to make a new game of? Do you think that's, because they said they want Rare to make more, Rare-like games. Would that be something worth them pursuing?
Yeah, man. Like it's by Rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rare made like Banjo-Kazooie, right?
Yep.
Rare made Donkey Kong Country, and
Yep.
man, if anything Rare touches becomes a Rare masterpiece. You know what I mean? So I mean, if Rare makes any game, I would jump on it. I don't care what it is, because they make beautiful games. They make very fun games, very games that like years later you get like crazy nostalgia over.
Sure.
Right? So
now
for me, anything they touch, I'll play.
Sure. Well, at the same time though, it's not entirely the same Rare team, because some of them left and they started a new studio and they're working on a new project called Project Ukulele.
Yeah,
and some of the other Rare guys, they're still there, but they've been doing a lot of sports, Connect Sports games and things like that recently. And it's actually rumored they're doing Battletoads right now. So Rare is working. So we'll see what comes out of that. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
isn't
man.
the
I look forward to it.
Isn't the Conker, isn't he through the you said through the Project
It's through
Spark?
Project Spark, yes. Through
Right,
Project
so it's
Spark.
not exactly going to be the same as like a full-blown Conkers
No,
game.
it's DLC. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of that, but like you said, Rare has that magic touch that they just make something work.
Never.
And I guess the fan outcry for having Conker back is high enough that they want to bring him back in some way. So
exactly.
It'll be lucrative on their end to do it.
Yep. To keep with the theme of reboots and remasters for this episode, with Xbox, Black Tusk came out and said they are not making any kind of Marcus Phoenix Gears of War collection for Xbox One. They're not working on it. So, and that was one of my predictions, Brant. If you remember back on our prediction show 2 episodes ago, I said a Gears of War collection will be out. They'll announce it now
already.
Just because Black Tusk said they're not working on it, I mean, maybe Microsoft has outsourced it. Who knows? I mean, they could be making it. You never know. But
I think so.
Is Gears of War? Is that a series that I know they're making a new Gears of War, and I'm pretty sure we're all excited. Well, maybe not Brant, but most of us in this podcast are excited for it. Would you want to see a Gears of War collection?
Absolutely, man. And here's the thing. I think I posted this on Facebook too. Is that it's in my opinion, a lot of devs play on words. Okay, so they said there's no Marcus Phoenix collection. That could mean so many things. It could mean that they're maybe doing like God of War 3, they're remastering 1 or 2 of the games.
Sure.
It can mean that maybe they're remastering all 4 of the games, 1 through 4, so technically it's not a Marcus Phoenix collection.
Yeah.
Because they never
Judgment, yeah.
They didn't say we're not making a Gears of War collection. They said a Marcus Phoenix collection. Yeah. So if 343 came out and they would have made they would have added, I don't know, like Halo Reach. And there's another one I can't remember, but they would have added Halo Reach to the collection, right? Technically, it wouldn't have been the Master Chief Collection anymore, so they could have came out and said we're not making a Master Chief Collection because obviously it's not a Master Chief Collection because he's not in Halo Reach. So play on words is very 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 likely. Man.
Nice.
And you never know.
If they don't. Even if it's not like 1 through 4, there's still a chance that they might remake like 3 or something, one of the more recent ones. I don't think they'd remake Judgment because I don't think Judgment sat as well with fans as the third one did. I think the third one was more accepted and loved than Judgment.
Now, I actually enjoyed Judgment. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. But the thing I didn't like about Judgment, they almost turned it like an arcade game. After each level, it would the story would abruptly stop and it would show you your score and tally up your points and say, oh, you got this many stars in this level. And it totally threw everything off. I think if they wouldn't have done that, the game would have flowed much better. It still had the great gameplay and everything, but I didn't like how they broke the levels up in that game. But I mean, I'd still like to play it again.
Oh yeah.
I guess one more news story I'm going to share. It's not Xbox, PlayStation, it's multi-platform, because after this, we're going to talk about the big Nintendo news of the week. But real quick, one thing I wanted to share that I thought was pretty funny. Mortal Kombat, which is coming out in April. NetherRealm Studios, they have a pretty good sense of humor. And when people, they set up in Mortal Kombat X, let's say you're getting beat really bad, and you're just very angry and frustrated, and you quit. the game will not let you. And what it will do what they're calling a quitality, and it will kill you. Like your head will explode, and it causes the other guy to win.
No way.
So
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
So I read
amazing.
about that. I just wanted to share that because I'm like, that's hilarious because it's called a quitality. So if someone tries to rage quit,
more
they
games
get
need
penalty.
to do that.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Man.
Okay, real
That's
quick,
great.
let's hit on this Nintendo news real fast because everyone's been talking about it. So we probably don't need to stay on it too long, but just get some quick thoughts on this. The big news with Nintendo, they came out this week and had 2 huge announcements. The first one is that they are teaming up with a company called DNA, and they're going to start producing mobile smart device games, so smartphones and tablets. They're going to start putting Nintendo IP properties on that. The other thing they did, they announced that they're working on their next console, and it's codenamed the NX. And a lot of people are saying, well, the only reason they did that is because if they would have said, we're announcing all this mobile stuff, people would have thought, oh no, Nintendo's going to die. They're going mobile, and they're going to stop doing console. And so a lot of people are saying they did this console announcement just to back that up, saying, no, we're still dedicated to this, to making home console games. And with the NX, they're actually not going to give us any more information on until at least 2016. So that's a good ways off. I feel like that gives the Wii U a little more breathing room because if they're not even giving us any more information on the NX till then, we probably have the Wii U for at least another 2 to 3 years minimum. So what do you guys think about this announcement? I guess first we'll start with the mobile stuff. What do you think about Nintendo making mobile games?
Well, first of all, they're leaving tons of money on the floor by not having any mobile games. So I think this is their way of saying, we got to get these games on here because, of course, 3DS, everybody has one of those and not a mobile phone. No, everybody
sense some sarcasm there, sir.
Yeah, everybody has a cell phone. So you see, hey, we get some Nintendo properties on here. That's going to drive up sales.
Sure.
And I think when they release the games, they won't be like the classics that you're used to.
Yeah, they did say they're not doing any direct ports. It's going to be all new stuff.
It's going to be they're going to tailor make it to the device. So something that's built from the ground up for the device. And I think in the end, that's actually a smart move on Nintendo.
Sure. And, Josh, what do you think about this?
I got mixed emotions, man. Like in one sense, with DNA, they're kind of known for doing a lot of microtransactions, as far as I understand, right? So Nintendo microtransactions to me is like scalpers. I don't really have a good taste about it,
Yeah.
But if they play their cards right, they could do it. And I mean, I don't know if they're going to be making games necessarily like Zelda specifically for mobile.
Sure.
I see maybe games like maybe like they're less common games like Brain Age or something.
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking like Brain Age, Nintendogs, maybe even WarioWare. I mean, anything that can be quick and played like with touch and movement that could be right up their alley.
That would be
perfect.
Because
I mean, mobile's usually like you're waiting for someone or you're out or something and you just pull it out for a couple seconds, minutes, whatever, a few minutes. Maybe you're at the doctor's office for a minute or something, or a minute. But,
I think you might be there a little longer.
Then you want to bring your 3DS, but and you pull your phone out for a bit. So I mean stuff like Brain Age, Nintendogs, stuff like that. It could very well work.
Sure.
They got to play their cards right. But
sure. And one thing that Nintendo has always been good at that no other company has really worked with, Nintendo can make the craziest control options possible, and they can make games work for that. So I don't think Nintendo's going to have any problems with motion and touch control because they've been doing that for years. So, I mean, even things like okay, I don't know if you guys remember when the DS launched, but they had a lot of games that were almost like what you have on mobile phones and smartphones now. They had like Pac Picks. I don't know if you remember that, where you like drew Pac-Man, and then he would move in the direction you drew him in, and like so you could eat ghosts, and it was like almost like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
They also had things like Yoshi Touch and Go, where it was an endless runner. It was an endless runner before endless runners were cool because it was Yoshi and he had Baby Mario and you drew on the bottom screen to draw clouds that would save Yoshi and get to the end of the level. So Nintendo already has this in their back. I think they've got this in their back pocket. As long as they don't, charge crazy amounts of money, or like you said, do microtransactions. Because I know they've been testing microtransactions with the 3DS. Because things like Steel Diver Sub Wars, you can buy subs. They had Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, where you could buy the different games in that. And right now, the one that a lot of people are complaining about, Pokemon Shuffle, I think is what it was called, where it's like a match 3 game, but you can only play so many times a day. And if you want to play more than that, you have to pay for it. So a lot of people are kind of mad about that. But at least they're they're testing the waters. So I think when they do step out with mobile phones or tablets or whatever it is, I think they'll be ready.
Hopefully.
Sure. And
it's Nintendo, right? So
absolutely.
You never know.
They never do wrong, right, James?
Sure, that's right. And just real quick, the NX. I know they're not announced until 2016.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to, do you think Nintendo, because it's coming out in the middle of a console generation, so I don't know how, do you think they're going to make it where it's more powerful than the Xbox One and PS4, or are they going to make it, parity, like in line with what's out right now? And like, what do you think it's going to be? I guess, Josh, we'll start with you.
Man, I would hope that it would be at least in par. There was actually someone on YouTube found an article and a rumor. There was a bunch. It's all rumors, but it's all connected. That Nintendo was working with AMD apparently on this new AMD chip that was going to be, I think, more powerful than the processors in the Xbox One and PS4. Again, that's just a rumor. Take it as a grain of salt. But a lot of rumors lately that we've been hearing end up, being confirmed. So you never know.
With the age of the internet, it's hard to hide anything.
Exactly. But, like the thing is with, Nintendo used to compete with like the third-party games, right? When I had a GameCube, they had, like Tony Hawk and stuff like that on it, right? And you had it on PS2, you had it on the original Xbox. Yeah. But now, no third-party developer wants to make games for the Wii U because the Wii U it's lacking, man. It's behind, right? So if they can at least make their hardware par, I think they can have a real good run in the race. And we know Nintendo can compete, man. They competed against Sega. They competed before against companies, but they've been holding back. They've been sitting in the back lines and stuff. But I think my prediction for the NX, I think like they said, they're gonna announce it next year. I say E3 they reveal it, and I say 2017 holiday they release it. That'll be about 5 years that the Wii U's been out. Most Nintendo consoles have a 5-year cycle, except the GameCube, I think, was 4. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
So it's perfect timing, 2017.
That's right.
The NX.
What about you, Brant? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Joe. I definitely think it's 2017.
He goes for the easy answer.
No,
I agree. You said that pretty well.
Well, I do. But I'll tell you what I want to see from this thing. I'm hoping...
Everybody hold on to your seats.
Hold on to your butts. No. I'm hoping that it's, like I said on my prediction for them, something like a tablet almost, but with the what you do with the Wii U gamepad. Something you can take with you wirelessly. It has the power of, maybe not as powerful as like a PS4 or Xbox One, but definitely PS3 and 360. And that'd just be more lucrative to me. I could see myself using something like that more. Also, the possibility is that they'd be going into VR, and you know how well they did with the
Virtual
first
Boy,
one. Right? How perfect that came out. But with everybody else having a piece of this pie, I think maybe there's a chance that they want to try something with that. I'm not sure, but I don't know. What do you guys think if Nintendo went into the VR ground again?
I just don't see them doing that because Nintendo is very price conscious and they don't like to be the first one in a new technology. They always like to make sure that technology is tested and it works, and then they get into it. That's why, like with the Wii and the Wii U and all that, they've kept it a little more subtle and when it comes to power.
Sure.
Yeah. I think. I don't know, man. I think as far as VR goes, I don't know if Nintendo would necessarily try. I mean, with PS4 and Xbox, they're like, Microsoft, they kind of got their own VR stuff going on. So maybe, it's being tested out by other companies. So maybe Nintendo might be, kind of looking into it or something. I don't know if they would do it. If they did it, I don't know how well it would work.
Sure.
But
have red lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Man.
Or they can come out with that concept that there was like the fake concept that was supposed to be the new Xbox, where there's like a projection.
Oh yeah,
on
that's
your
right.
wall.
The HoloLens, which actually turned into the HoloLens. So I mean.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe they'll try something like that. I don't know, man.
You never know.
You never know exactly. So.
Okay, well, real quick, to end our news section, we always end it with the section we call My 2 Cents, and with that, we'll just hit up some quick savings for you. Right now, with the Xbox One, you can get an Xbox One with the Master Chief Collection and an extra controller at Walmart for $349 right now. Also, if you already have an Xbox One and you want to get the Master Chief Collection, it's only $35 on Amazon. So that's some pretty good savings right there. The PlayStation, right now you can get a PlayStation Vita on Amazon for only $170. So what's the
buy it?
So that Brant, he gives us
My
2 thumbs up for
endorsements,
that.
Yes.
I don't know how much that's worth. That's okay. How much does that hold? Right now, also with the PlayStation 4, you can get a PlayStation 4 with The Last of Us and Battlefield Hardline for $435 on Amazon. So if you haven't got a PS4 and you're looking to get in Battlefield Hardline, it's only $435 right now.
Also, I want to point out, I think at GameStop, if you trade in your PS3, you get like $107. Is it?
Yep, it's $175. That's right. You can trade in your PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360 toward the PS4, and it saves you $175, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Right.
I wouldn't want to let go of my PS3, but for anybody that would, there you go.
And one other thing I want to hit right now, we don't really talk about PC, but I saw that right now on Steam, they're doing the 2K sale. You can get games like Spec Ops The Line for $6. You can get all 3 BioShocks for $10. And Borderlands the pre-sequel, only $30. So if you are a PC gamer and you're playing stuff on Steam, make sure to check that out. So that they've got some good stuff going. I guess.
Well, actually, one more thing to throw in there. The PSN network has a flash sale going on right now.
Sure.
All games are $1 or under.
Oh, wow.
And they have things like Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition for PS4. Cool. They have tons of PS1 classics. I think Mega Man X4 and X5, Wild Arms 1 and 2, Breath of Fire 4. Just something you got to check out. I mean, they're all under $1. So these are usually games that are like, $6 to $20.
Sure.
All under $1. So go and check that out. It's just this weekend. So
hopefully
you're listening to this podcast.
Yes, you're listening to this early.
Soon.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Josh, is there anything off the top of your head you can think of adding?
I think I seen something like. Did you mention the Xbox Halo bundle?
Yes.
You did, okay.
Well the Master Chief Collection and the extra controller on Walmart for $349.
Yeah, so. That's the only one I was really thinking of. Besides that, I think EB Games, I don't know about in the States, like at GameStop, but I know in Canada, if you're living in Canada, EB Games had some sales on a bunch of Xbox stuff. You can go check it out on their website. I know like the stereo headsets are normally like $69 or something. They're on sale for like $49 right now, so like $20 off. So my dad just picked one of those up. So if you're looking for a pretty decent quality headset for cheap, EB Games has some on sale in Canada. So
awesome,
check it out.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, and with that, we will get into our topic of the week. We will be talking about reboots and remasters. Okay, guys, real quick, as I was researching this, I found some very interesting information. So hopefully you guys find this as interesting as I did. There was a video over on GameSpot. They do this video series called The Point. They talk about different topics. And the one thing they were talking about was, where are all the games at? So right now,
where are all the games?
Exactly. They were talking about all the big games that are coming out that were supposed to come out soon that got delayed. Uncharted 4, Batman Arkham Knight got delayed twice. Quantum Break got pushed to 2016. The Division got delayed again. Right now it's rumored things like, Zelda for Wii U and No Man's Sky, all those are going to get delayed.
Hope not.
Please no.
Right. So I mean, that just seems to be the theme right now for this generation of consoles. And a lot of what's happening, it seems we're getting a lot of reboots and remasters to fill that gap. But real quick, one interesting thing they talked about in that video, because I didn't realize how many great games are coming out. Because a lot of people might say, oh, it's a new console. It takes time for the wheels to start moving and really pick up speed. Well, they look at the first year of the Xbox 360 and the PS3. In the first year of Xbox 360 and PS3, they had Gears of War 1, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Dead Rising, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, Saints Row. All those games were in the first year of the Xbox 360 and PS3, which is crazy. Those are all really good games. And in the second year, which is what we're heading into right now with this generation of console, the second year of the Xbox 360 and PS3, they had BioShock, they had Uncharted 1, they had Rock Band, Halo 3, and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. All those games came out in the first 2 years of the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation. And that, the jump from Xbox to Xbox 360, they had to learn HD console. Like, they had to learn a whole new system. Where right now, it's pretty much like they're going from 720p to 1080p, just more processing power. So what's happening? Like, because right now, here's what we're getting. We're getting a lot of games that we already purchased, because for remasters this generation so far, we've had Tomb Raider, we've had Last of Us, Halo Master Chief Collection, we've had Sleeping Dogs, we've had Grand Theft Auto 5, we had Metro Redux, we had Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask on the 3DS, we had Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on the Wii U, we had Bayonetta 1 on the Wii U, we've got the Borderlands Collection coming out next week. Later on, we have Dark Souls 2 coming out again. We have Diablo 3, Payday 2. Now, like I mentioned before, we've got God of War 3 and Gravity Rush coming out. We have Devil May Cry coming out.
Stop the madness.
Wait. The one other thing I wanted to mention that it's rumored, Alan Wake for Xbox 360. They're going to remaster, and it may be, if you pre-order Quantum Break, that may be one of the incentives to pre-order. You might get the Alan Wake remastered collection. So what is happening, guys? We're 2 years in, and all we have are games from last generation, and they're just making it look a little fancier, and they're charging us a full $60 price again. What is going on?
Well, the developers, I think it's safe to say, are having a harder time this generation. Even though they made it sound like they could develop easier for these systems, it just isn't adding up to that. And what you're seeing is just, to get things out, let's just do a remastered, like The Last of Us, which came out, which is a great game. It's good that more people could play that, but let's just release that on the PS4, or Tomb Raider.
Sure.
And
especially those two you mentioned, they were out less than a year on their previous system before they got remastered and put on the new systems.
Right. And then that's what you're seeing more, because they can't release games on the time point that they have, because then it might be broken or something. So they're having all these other people devote time to other areas, which I think it's just clogging up everything, really.
Sure.
And then, Josh, what do you think about this?
Yeah, what do you think, Josh?
Oh man, that's a good question, man. Because like you were listing all these games that came out on like 360 in the first couple of years. Like, man, I didn't realize there was that many, like new, and those are new IPs, right?
Yeah.
So you could look now, like you got like maybe like a new Call of Duty every year, but Modern Warfare was like the start of online Call of Duty, and the first Gears of War, and the first Rock Band, so like they got Rock Band 4 coming out, but it's just like, like another sequel, right?
Sure.
So there's not many new IPs coming out. There's a lot of remakes, a lot of remasters. I don't know. It's a good question. Like, is it just that they can't figure out how to properly, harness the power of the next gen consoles in a short amount of time, that for some reason they need more time? I know like with Call of Duty, they have 3 studios now doing 3-year cycles instead of doing 2-year cycles. So, there has been a lot of talk that the games now do take longer to develop. I'm not a developer, so I have no idea why.
Oh, come on. You can give us a better answer than that.
Yeah. I would love to know why, though. Like, they don't really tell us much either. You know, they're just kind of like, oh, well, this game's getting delayed because it's not ready yet. Here's the remaster of this game or whatever. You know, which I don't think is necessarily bad, but I think more games should be doing it like God of War is doing it, in the sense that it's cheaper. You know, like they're not charging another like, you know, $60-$70 for like you already paid that before. You're playing the same game but it's remastered. Like, give it for a discount at least, you know. Make it cheaper if you're gonna do that. But as far as what's going on, man, I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
I stumped you both.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm scratching my head.
Well, maybe, I mean, a lot of the downloadable games too, like Walking Dead Season 1 and 2, Dead Nation. But one thing that PlayStation's doing, of course, Resident Evil actually just came out recently too, a remastered version of that.
Yeah.
One thing that PlayStation was doing that's kind of nice, like things like Flower and I'm trying to think what else. Like the games that already come out on PS3, if you bought them already, you got the upgrade for free, and you could just which is really nice. And so I actually I give them a round of applause for that, because that's actually a really cool thing for them to do. They didn't have to. I mean, because a lot of these games they could charge full price.
People would pay.
People would buy it, and so because think about where we're at right now. We're almost 2 years. We're going on to 2 years into this new generation, and I was scratching my head trying to think what has come out that's really been a standout experience. And for me, I thought Bayonetta 2, Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, and Dragon Age. Like, that's all I could. I can only count on one hand the games. I'm like, these are must buys for this generation. I mean, can you guys think of anything else beyond that, where it's like, man, I'm so glad I have this more powerful console because I can play these games?
Well, my reason's coming up in less than a week.
Well, we know you want Bloodborne.
Ad nauseum about that,
right.
but God, I'm hoping that's not a bust.
Oh, that would totally
Please.
suck. Don't let it be
but
the order.
From Software is good. I think they have it in good hands.
There you go.
And it goes along. I'll just say this too: with Uncharted being delayed, you're going to hear about an Uncharted collection. I'm
more
pretty
than likely, sure.
For the holiday, just to fill in there.
Yeah.
What were you saying again, James? I lost you.
I was asking if there's any games that have come out so far. Like, I know you're talking about Bloodborne, but anything that's come out on your PS4 as of right now, you're thinking, man, I'm glad I had a next-gen console for that experience.
And yeah, the simple answer to that is no, honestly.
Sure.
Infamous Second Son was, great game, but it's not must-have. I think we're starting to get to the point now where the developers are knowing more about the systems, and we're getting those high-profile releases like The Witcher 3. I mean, that's a game that is going to push the boundaries of everything we know about next-gen. So that would be a reason to, jump in too. But
sure. Well, I mean, another thing that's really popular right now is not remastering, but bringing a series that's been dead for a long time and rebooting it and bringing it back. Because they've talked about Battletoads, and everyone's been talking about, oh, we got to bring it back, we got to bring it back. And I know there's that Kickstarter going on for Toe Jam and Earl right now. With something like that, I feel, at least me personally, I think that might be a better way to go, because these are games you haven't played for a long time. So, reboot-wise, is there any series you can think of, like, yes, they should, like with Phantom Dust, they're rebooting that, but that wasn't one that I had a connection to. I know some people out there did, and they're really excited for that. But are there any reboots that you guys could think of that are coming out or that you would like to see?
Crash Bandicoot, absolutely 100%.
Naughty Dog, get on it.
It has to be Naughty Dog.
Cancel
right?
Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know who owns Crash Bandicoot now.
I don't
know.
Josh.
Because it went multi-platform. What was it, Activision?
I think it might have been Activision.
They went multi-platform because I remember it was on
Yeah.
GameCube and Xbox. It was Crash was everywhere for a very short period of time.
Yeah. I mean, that Crash is the only one I can really think of
I'll
right
give
now.
you a good for Nintendo, Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
James, would you like to see?
Oh yeah,
that game
the Eternal
rebooted?
Darkness, sure.
The one where you get psyched out and
Oh yeah.
blood on the walls and your game data saves get erased. And
Yeah,
that,
dude, that
game
was crazy. And,
oh,
and
man.
With that, I know that I think it was fans that were doing it. They were making a game that's supposed to be like the spiritual sequel to it, but then it got shut down. Like the Kickstarter didn't make enough money or something happened where it just never happened. But I know Nintendo, they still have the rights to that. I mean, if they wanted to make another one, they could. I mean, that could be. I mean, because Nintendo needs more stuff, really.
Just more original material anyway. Knights of the Old Republic, I think, would be another good one that not enough people experienced that before. I don't think if they re-release that, BioWare did something with that, I think that would be pretty awesome.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and Josh, I guess Brant, I should say, because I know you won't like, because I know Josh is a Nintendo fan, but Brant not so much. But when you're looking at systems this generation, as of right now, I think Nintendo has the best collection of games, because we've got Super Mario 3D World, we got Bayonetta 2, we've got Hyrule Warriors. I mean, there's this, we got the new Mario Kart, and we've got like there's just so much to do, on Nintendo systems. And with the Wii U, to fill in that third party gap, they're starting to get a lot of indie support. Like all those indie games are starting to come out on all their stuff, and they're starting to have cross-buy, things like Ollie Ollie and the new Mario and Donkey Kong. And so even though third parties aren't running to Nintendo and nobody's buying the Wii U, I really feel like the 3DS and the Wii U together, I guess you could say, is the best place to be right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, yeah. You know, I noticed lately too, man, a lot of indie games coming out on Nintendo consoles, and it's a smart move. You know, it's a smart move because they don't have as much of that third party, support. So, you know, what better way to pour in some indies, right? And a lot of people like their indies. You know,
sure.
You know, there's a lot of great indies out there. You know. Played a lot of them on the free to play Gold's games with Gold.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. They've released a lot of indie games. There's like this one, I forget what it's called. It's like
IDARB,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I drew a red box. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically like some like weird kind of sports style game, but it's really cool, man. It's really fun. You know?
Yeah, and so, I don't know if you know about that game, but you can actually link it to your Twitter feed, and you can span people's games through your Twitter feed, which is crazy.
yeah. So you know, it's it's you know, there's a lot of great stuff happening right now. So.
And I find that the older I get, the more I enjoy these indie games. Just playing Hotline Miami too. I mean,
sure.
I love those games, and I'd rather play that than some big budget release.
Plus, it's shorter and it's more compact. You can play it in short bursts. I think that for where we're at in our lives right now, being busy, and like Josh, you get married, and Brant, with you having kids, and like it's just we don't have as much free time as we used to, and so those indie games are more compact, and it's great. And like with the I've sort of turned my Wii U into an indie machine, where if it's an indie game I want to play, like Ollie Ollie or Thomas Was Alone, or like these indie games I haven't played, I normally buy them on there.
Yeah,
because you're right, the indie titles have sort of filled the gap that these remasters are kind of leaving, because we're not getting those new experiences, and so we've had to turn to indie titles to get that new experience.
But you're also seeing them release like Grim Fandango remaster. I mean, they're bringing back franchises that were indie titles at the time. Oddworld, new and tasty. I mean, these great games back.
They just announced that for Xbox One. It's coming out next Friday, I believe.
It's good to see Xbox starting to get in line with these indie, saying, hey, we made up for our mistakes. Let's release what these other systems have.
Exactly. But it's kind of funny you brought up new and tasty, because when they first announced Oddworld new and tasty, they said it's coming to PS4, it's coming to Wii U. We're not going to bring it to Xbox, because they had a bad experience with Xbox when they released Stranger's Wrath, I think it was called, like those Oddworld games back in the day. And now it's on PS4. It's coming to Xbox One next week. It's never come to Wii U. And they said they were having problems developing on the Wii U system, which goes back to what we were talking about before with this whole NX thing, just to sort of, bring that back around. If Nintendo has a more powerful console, it will help them get more stuff on it.
Yeah, for sure, man. They need with the NX, man. They need to come out with something that's par with the consoles out right now. You know, like I said, like indies are great, and I love that so many consoles are supporting indies so much right now. Because I mean, the indie developers obviously, I mean, they're low budget studios, right? So they need support, and a lot of great games. Every game starts out as an indie technically. You know what I mean? Like every studio. Starts out as like an indie, right? Like,
sure.
You got to start somewhere, right? It's like podcasting, you start somewhere. So, I think it's great to support indie developers. Play different indie games, especially when you can try them out for free on Games with Gold, and I know PS Plus has some free games too every month. So, yeah, and sometimes you find that one indie game that just you get hooked on, and you just end up loving that game, and that's how developers end up getting into the bigger AAA titles.
Sure.
So never know.
Absolutely, gotta start somewhere. And,
yeah, exactly.
And one thing to end on our remasters talk. Do you guys, to my knowledge, this was the first remaster I can think of, because I don't remember remasters before this, but when Nintendo came out with the Super Mario All-Star Collection, where they remastered the first 3 Mario Brothers, and it was Super Mario World and the Lost Levels, and it was on one cartridge for the Super Nintendo. That is the very first remaster that I can ever remember. Well, do you guys know of any remaster that happened before that?
Not that I know of, no.
Because I remember that was crazy. You're like, oh my gosh, I can play the old Mario games, and they look great, and all the animation was redone. And I just
are you talking about the Mario All Stars? Is that?
Yep, Mario All Stars collection.
Yeah, Mario Stars.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. I like how they redid all the graphics.
Yep.
But it's the same gameplay, but just made it prettier.
Actually, one funny thing I actually heard about that, they actually went in and they actually fixed some glitches that were in the original Mario Brothers games. In the Super Mario World version of that, because if you remember the cartridge, there were 2 versions of it. There was one that came with just the original Mario Brothers games from NES, and one that also had Super Mario World on it as well. And I guess the Super Mario World one, they actually fixed some glitches, changed some of the sound effects, changed some of the physics a little bit. So actually, every single game that was on that, they actually tweaked it to try to perfect those games. So even then, Nintendo was ahead of the game.
Yeah, exactly, man.
That's what remasters need to do, though, is just fix up things like that, the glitches, and just don't release again, just don't mod it over. Fix what's broken with it, and take care of it.
Man, I loved All Stars, man.
It was great.
It was great, yeah. And then you go on the eShop, you buy Super Mario 3 now, and it's the original NES version, and the coloration just sucks.
Yeah,
man. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Still fun to play, though.
Well, yeah, no doubt, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's great games.
Okay, guys, it was a great conversation. Josh, thanks for joining us, man. We loved having you on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, man, appreciate you guys.
We hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, for sure, man. It was great time. I appreciate you guys asking me to be on the show. So,
awesome.
A lot of fun, man.
Sure. And real quick, Josh, where can people find you?
Oh, man. Everywhere. But if you want to watch my YouTube content, of course, JSkeleton92, JSkeleton92 on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch. You can add me as a friend if you want on Xbox One, on Wii U. You can hit me up on my Facebook page if you want to add me on 3DS. So we can exchange friend codes.
The friends codes.
Which I hate, man. I hate the friends codes. But I'm even on Steam, man. I don't really PC game much, but I'm on Steam. I play League of Legends sometimes. I suck at it, but you can add me on there too. JSkeleton92. The only place that is different is PSN, which is Flow Major, FLOWMAJOR, and that's thanks to Sony not allowing us to change our PSN names. So Sony, get on it.
That's right.
Yeah. So you
hear
can
this?
pretty much find me anywhere.
Yoshida, let us change our names.
Let us change it, man. It's about time.
Well, man, thanks for being on the show. We loved having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much, man.
And real quick, where you can find us, find us on iTunes. Rate us on iTunes, guys. We would love that. Make sure to share our podcast with your friends. Get the word out there. You can find us on Facebook at Life of Gaming Podcast. We're on Twitter at Life of Gaming Pod. You can also find us on Google+. So we are all over the place. And also on WordPress, we also have our podcast listed on there as well at lifeofgamingpodcast.wordpress.com. Next episode, because we are a bi-weekly podcast, we have an episode normally every other week. But because we're only doing 2 a month, and with it being 5 weeks in a month, it's kind of thrown us off. So our next episode will actually be April 10th. And on that episode, Josh and I and our guests will be talking about our favorite video game movies. So, what are some good ones?
Mario Brothers.
So what are some right? So what are some good ones? What are some bad ones? Which ones will we like to see? So that's what we'll be talking about next time. So hopefully, guys,
I'm at minus the Brant.
That's right. You can That's right. Find Josh at minus the Brant. You can find me at James+12. So make sure to follow us. If you have any feedback for the show, make sure to send us a message through Facebook. We love getting your feedback. We're always trying to improve the show. So hopefully, guys, you enjoyed yourself and had a good time. And until next time, we are out.
Bye.